Hi everybody, welcome to the channel, and this week I just wanted to share with you a small unbagging video of a second-hand game that I've picked up, Winter Thunder, The Battle of the Bulge, designed by Brian Train and published by Tiny Battle Publishing. As you can see, the game has already been punched, but I just wanted to share with you some of the components. I have a couple of other Bulge games. This one I'm hoping is going to be quite different in its approach to, for example, the Deadly Woods from Revolution Games, and also hopefully slightly quicker and a little bit more in keeping with what I look for in a game. So I just wanted to share with you the components, and hopefully looking to get this on the table soon and share my thoughts thereafter. So what do you get? Well, you get 176 counters. I'll have a little look at those at the moment. You've got the rule book. You've got a sequence of play sheet, paper format. You've got a map, which again I'll show you in a moment. And then you've got a reinforcement schedule and time track, which is quite useful. So you'll be able to see kind of when things come into play. That's also the back of the folio game as it is, but let's start off having a little look at the rules themselves. So I really like the artwork. I like this kind of pamphlet approach, very nice. Say colour scheme palette, again very nice from that point of view. The total page length of the rules is 9, so very in keeping with the kind of game I like, where rules hopefully aren't too involved and too complicated. On the back here you can see you're playing on a standard sort of 17 by 22 inch map, medium complexity, with a play time of about 3 hours. So again, be interesting to see how that pans out in reality. It's a full colour rules booklet, lots of examples, which is nice. And some optional rules and designer notes at the back as well, including a unit identification chart, so you can kind of see what everything is quite closely. Scenario setup guide, which I believe on the map you got some indicators on there as well. Some optional rules. So the key rules are probably 6-7 pages, so not too bad at all from that point of view. Sequence of play, again, doesn't look too complicated. So you've got grey units of the German Army, blue the German Air Force, magenta the SS, green the US, and khaki the UK. So lots going on there. A little bit of the usual identification markers in terms of what the counters look like. And so you're going through an initial phase, an ops phase, and a turn end phase. So nothing too complicated there. A little bit about combat. As I say, some good examples. Supply is going to be very important. And some of the special rules, such as roadblocks, will be very interesting to see how they are played out, along with British 30 core. And you've got a short game option here, Home for Christmas. So that may well be something like that I will start with to learn the game, and then go from there. Again, I've heard this game is very solitairable as well, so it gives you lots of options from that point of view, which is nice. So yeah, some good options there in terms of what you might want to consider doing from that point of view. All right, so that's the rules. I'm going to come back to the map, and then we've got the sequence of play, which just sort of follows that through. Again, I think that will be probably what you'll be looking at most of the time once you start playing. And then you've got this, say, reinforcement track, which is really interesting, depending on the dates. It kind of shows you the various units when they come into play. So that, I think, will be really helpful. Counters, standard sort of fare really, as you can see through the bags here that they're in. Quite nice designs, quite muted colours, other than the magenta, which I think is particularly nice, which actually is representing the SS units. Let's just get a couple out so it's a little bit clearer to see. There we go. So they're kind of standard fare, quite thin counters, but they are quite small, so they're not going to bend too much unless they get some really heavy treatment. But the information on the counters is very, very clear, so that's nice, and it doesn't look to be too much, which is good. Let's just show you another one there. Again, not too much information on there, and just for information, another one there. So again, I say standard fare as far as counters. Got some nice little markers there as well for various things, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a massively counter heavy game from that point of view, so hopefully not too bad. So let me just get the map out and show you what that looks like, and we'll wrap up from there. So this is just a top-down view of the map. Hopefully you can see there you've got quite a small playing area, but I'll zoom in a little bit more in a moment. But you've got a lot of the information you need when you're playing the game on here, such as terrain effects to movement and combat, movement itself, and then you've got this mission matrix table, which is one of the key drivers in the game around combat, where sides will pick their stance or mission, cross-reference it on the table, add a few modifiers, and that will determine the outcome of a particular action. So if you've got things like stand fast, balanced defense, defense in depth, counter attack, delay, withdrawal, blitz, balanced attack, frontal attack, infiltrate, lots of different kind of options there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in reality in the game. Let's just zoom in a little bit. I'm going to move my tripod in a little bit closer, so hopefully you can see a little bit more of the map itself. Apologies for the very bad camera delivery, but hopefully you can see a little bit more now of the map itself. So you've got the Meuse River there, some of the key names of places that you'll have seen if you've played Bulge games, where some of the key actions took place. And I believe these emblems on the map here are some of the deployment areas, so again aiding you at the beginning of the game. Although again, I'll wait and see, but I wonder how confusing that might be when you're actually playing the game with counters as well, when you see that on the map, but hopefully not. I kind of will wait and see how that plays for me, but I do like the palette and the various sort of shades of whites and greys representing, obviously it's winter, it's very, very cold conditions, terrible conditions for both sides to fight a campaign in, really. But I think the designers have done a really good job of that. The artwork, I like the components overall for a folio game. I think it looks really interesting, and yeah, looking forward to giving this one a go. So that's Winter Thunder, designed by Brian Train, The Battle of the Bulge, from Tiny Battle Publishing. Hope you've enjoyed this little video to show you some of the game, and hope to bring you some more very, very soon. Thanks for watching.